Right then peeps, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you, but it's going to be a very quick video. I was literally just on my way out the door, and just to show you the time, that's 10 to 2. It is 10 to 2, I promise you. Anyway, a UPS turned up with this, and just, oh crikey, and just to let you know, this weekend I am a tiny little bit busy at a festival. Anyway, so I'm meant to be going up to the festival now. Yeah, it's all a little bit crazy, but to give you a little bit of an insight, I've been excited about this case ever since last year. I got to take a look at this case in like a 3D program. It was really early designs, and I was excited from the moment I saw it. I sent George, the legend George, an email about it saying I was quite excited about it. So I've decided to give you a quick look at it. I've not done this with a case for some time, but I know I'm going to be busy for the rest of the weekend, and I will try and get started on this next week after I've done a motherboard and a graphics card and all kinds of other stuff. So it's busy time here at the moment. I've got so much on. Oh, and now I've got system coming, and oh yeah, it's relentless at the moment. But I want to have a look at this. So I thought, rather than me just opening the box, which I already have done, but I thought rather than me just opening a box, I'd let you have a look as well. And when we do, I've really not got further than doing the sellotape. You can see that it's in a fabric bag. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off the desk, and hopefully it will come. Ah! The case gods are shining on me today. Right, let's hope the weather gods shine on me later as well. Right, so we've got it out. Now, like I said, I am going to be doing this rapid. But it was either me do this or wait until next week, and I couldn't have gone out today without looking. Right, so we're that way around. Okay. Now the thing is this is designed, and I think people are going to be quite surprised in how small this thing really is. It's designed to be not very tall, but just a bit fat, so it's short and dumpy. Right, we're there. Can you still see? Do we need to move? No, we'll stay there. Right, so we whizzed this off. And there we have our first look. Now, giant window on the side. Look at that. Gorgeous. Anyway, so the idea with this, we have a look. There's your kind of real compact mid-tower. And the way that they've been able to do this, if I take this side panel window off, put this stuff to the side. Now the window, again, is slightly smoked. You can see the colour difference with the, you know, looking on the inside. Now the reason why it is so compact, if I stand this up, is there's no power supply in this side of the case. It's really, you've got room for a motherboard there, and then your H100 or whatever you want to put at the top. So you've not got that extra height from the power supply, because the power supply is on the other side. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera off, and I've not done this for a long time either, but as we're just going to have a quick look, actually we can do it from here. Look at that. The lighting gods are being kind to us today. Right, in the bottom we have two mechanical hard drive bays. Now these mechanical hard drive bays are hot swap, and there's connectors in the back, and you can put your solid state drives on these or normal size 3.5-inch mechanical drives. This was the one thing I didn't like about this case really when I first took a look at it, because I think it makes the bottom look unnecessarily messy, and also when you take them out, which many of us may do, if you have a look you can see through to the bottom of the case. So this would be something that I would be needing to address if I was going to be using that, but many of you might not care. Another thing to consider though, with these being so open, is that could be a way for dust to be ingressed into the, you know, part of the case. We're doing a review here, and I'm not really reviewing it, I'm just looking at it. Now, in the front and the back of the case, airflow style 140 fans. So they're AF 140s. If you have a look at the back, you can see that we've even got a mesh grille rather than the the hexagon stuff just to make it the airflow better. Now, I'm just going to have a look. Is it just a pull-off job? Because I really don't know. Yes, there we go. Right, so we've pulled the front off. I need to realign this so that you can see. Ah, I'm useless today. I apologise. Right, I'll start again. So we've come round to the front and I've taken the front panel off, little Corsair badge, and you can see that there's a dust filter inside with the fans on it. I'm not sure how you get the dust filter off yet. Again, this is going to take me some time because obviously I'm trying to do this real quick. And you can also, I'm still looking to see how to take the dust filter off. You can also take the roof panel off as well. Turn that back round, Thomas. And that exposes everything. Now what I need to do is just quickly, and like I said, you need to remember I've only just got this. It's magnetic. The dust filter for the front is magnetic. Right. So we've got two 140mm fans in the front, and that's just airflow ones. But we've also got the gaps here that we can mount a 360mm radiator in the front. And we'll leave the fans in there for the minute, and then we'll see how much room we've got from the edge of the fans to the edge of where the motherboard will be. So we go from the fans to the edge of the motherboard. Get it lined up, Thomas. And you're looking at about 90mm. So you could put a monster thick radiator in there if you wanted to, with a normal ATX board, or you could easily get your 60mm normal double fat radiator in there, and a second set of fans as well, and you'd still just be able to get it in. Don't forget, some of the boards, like the Rampage 4 Extreme, will come over the edge of the ATX mount ever so slightly, and you do still need to consider things like SATA cables and stuff like that, but I would have thought most people won't have any issues with this at all. What we can also see is we've got plenty of grommets. Got some at the top. Trying to do it so you can see, there we go. Got some at the top. Two sets down the sides, lovely. There's a cable route and hole down the bottom here as well. If we turn the case over, it has mounts up the top for 120mm and 140mm fans. Spacings are correct, so you can fit H100 up here, H110, but with the 140mm mounts, they're extended. This means that it fits 15mm gaps and 20mm gaps, which means that you can use water cooling rads up here. But also that does open the doors for the first time that we can start talking about even the possibility of you being able to fit things like the NZXT coolers up here as well. So that's that. All very quickly. Please don't judge me. Like I said, I wanted to have a look, so I just wanted to share with you guys as well. Now, around the back, we can see on the back panel, there is a mesh section here. This is obviously for the power supplies, to be able to actively breathe. Again, take me panels off. Bosch. Right. Now, this solid state drive mount, I'm quite familiar with already because I've used it. I'm trying to work out how you get it off. Is that it? There we go. I've seen these before, and essentially you can strip them down and pop these off, so you don't have to use all four. You can just have one on the back if you want. Like I said, they do come off, but you can fit that in, remove it, you can do whatever you want with it. You don't have to have it fitted there. Your power supply goes in the side here. Obviously, with this case, you'd want to have it drawing air in from the outside because you're not really going to have much air in, being able to flow it anywhere else. We've got black connectors in the front, USB 3, power and reset switch, HD audio, and that does, but we'll come round and talk about this in a minute. Mount for your hard drive, your power supply, and then we've got the connections down here for your hot swap. Now, I have to admit, if you're not going to use these hot swaps, as in you're not going to have anything in them on the other side, and you decide to hide them on this side or something, probably remove these cables. But again, we'll talk about that with a modding guide later on. I did want to talk about the front because we've got a power and a reset switch. Then we've got headphone and microphone, and then 2 USB 3s, and then vertical optical drives should you want to use them. I have to admit that I think I would be of the opinion that I probably want to take those out, and they do look like you can remove them if you're not going to use them as well. All the screws and everything are in place. So I do think if you don't want this here, you can get rid of it. And obviously if you did remove this, you could have water cooling reservoir on this side, maybe fit your hard drives. Because to be fair, what they've done is they've made the mechanical hard drive bits on this side because they get hot. But with some decent, you can get like heat sinks to go on the side. With one of those on, fitted on the other side, you wouldn't really have too much to worry about. Generally people have 1 hard drive, maybe a solid state drive or 2. You could get those all in the other side, and then you just need to kind of work out how you're going to stealth the bottom of the case. I'm already itching to get working on this case because it's making me get all nerd tingly about what I want to do with it. So there we've got it. We have the passive section around the back, solid state drives, optical drives, your power supply, although the power supply can breathe from the side of the case. It's a bit, I don't want to start reviewing it yet. I'm just going to point stuff out because already it looks like we could have had a bit of dust filtering on this because it's just clear. There's nothing on there at all. But like I said, we'll talk about all these points when we do actually review it. Nice big open section up here, although to be fair, if you think about it, there's not really any need for this to be meshed because there's not going to be any, you know, considerable airflow. So this I'm a little bit confused about, but anyway, other than that, nice small compact case, big window, absolutely ripe for water cooling. It's slightly different to the way I imagined it, but in a good way. There's definitely lots that I could and want to do with it. If you did just want to have the 2 fans in the front, a H100 in push-pull in the roof, because let's have a look. Have we got room? Because I've not mentioned push-pull. Well, we've got 80mm there. We know that we've got 25, 30 for the radiator and then a further 50 for the fans. So technically you could get push-pull in above your motherboard without any problem at all. So they've obviously allowed that at the perfect height. The one thing I would say though is when you consider where the H100 would mount, and that comes down here, if you were to start talking about radiators and stuff, if you had your 60mm rad in, it would probably clear fine. In fact, yeah, it'd probably just clear. But if you wanted to go push-pull, you wouldn't be able to run a radiator in the roof. So you may need to, but until I start getting stuff in here and start measuring, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But like I said, I just wanted to share with you quickly. Now, what I'm going to do, it's 2:05. We've been doing this for about 15-20 minutes. I'm going to get this rendered up. I'm going to get the video uploaded for you straight away. And then, sadly, I'm going to have to admit, I'm going to get drunk. Because it's about time I had a few days to let my hair down. So, it's Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Out. Do you want to say anything?
I like it.
Apparently she don't. It's my little sister.